Hello and welcome to Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits, episode 95. My name is Meg and I will be your host, and we are joined today by an adorable, very curious, wants to eat my lipstick puppy, Gypsy. This is her. Say hi, Gyps. Mwah. Good girl. Yes, you're joining us in Maryland, a nice chilly day, which I don't mind because I have a sweater on. So I am throwing the window open just a crack to get some fresh air in here, as well as a breeze. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you are a new viewer, welcome to the crazy. Clearly you can see that things go so well every week. I am drinking coffee out of my Dogfish Head mug, which I am so excited to announce. I was kind of waiting for her to say it first. Gabby is coming to visit me for her trunk show, and I am so excited. I get to keep a Gabby. So excited. No puppies, unfortunately, but I've got one, so now she's gonna get to meet the ever lovely, wonderfully crazy Gypsy. So very excited about that. But I'm gonna get to take her to Dogfish, which is our favorite brewery around here. I'm so excited. But yes, so I haven't actually drank the coffee yet, but I feel that knowing I'm gonna meet some fiber friends in person for the first time is like taking 6 shots of espresso or something. Like, I can't. Because the fun doesn't stop there. So excitingly, I was talking to Tristan and she asked if I had a couch free. I have a whole guest room free. So I will get to see Tristan this year as well in May. I am so excited. My heart is full. I'm drinking spicy nutcracker from Door County Coffee Company, or Coffee and Tea Company. I showed off the things on Vlogmas. So if you go back to Vlogmas and you kind of like look, I make coffee every morning. So if you go to the beginnings of things, I probably show off which one I'm drinking. I ordered these all on Amazon and I just got like I think it was a 12 pack, and it was two of each, 6 different coffees, and it's been fantastic. I would absolutely do a sampler pack from them again. They've been wonderful. I heard a lot of good things about their fall collection, so I've got plans. I've got plans. I'm very excited. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop saying that. I'm gonna drink the coffee to calm down, and then alley-oop with the podcast. Tiny bit of admin just to let you know, I will be having a full week at Lovely Yarns in Hamden, Baltimore. That's June 8th to the 15th. I am planning right now how I'm going to get the yarn. I have a wedding on the 8th, of course I do, like, but I'm planning on how to get the yarn down there. I have the whole back of the shop. There's going to be a good amount of yarn. I'm very excited. So that's one thing that I am doing, and currently I had updated the shop with all of the things that I kept that didn't go to the Fiber Night Market, but thankfully since last week you guys have been amazing and have bought a ton of things, making my heart so much lighter and very happy to share them with you, to make you happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yeah, so that's the only trunk show at the moment that I have officially, and then I am working on some others. Very excited. My wonderful collaboration with Lindsay, who is Simply Serving. We have released the first set. Where did my minis go? There they are. So we've got Donna, the Bride, Clara, Impossible Girl, Amy, Girl Who Waited, Rose, Bad Wolf, and Martha, the Doctor's Doctor. I love it. These are 10-gram minis. While I was dyeing up your 20-gram minis, I threw in a 10-gram with each of them, so I have my own little set. I didn't want to waste the 20-gram minis that you guys need, so I just did 10 grams, and that will be enough for my blanket, and then either I'll put it into the bits and bobs, or I will wind it into, I've been making magic knot balls for Trina for Christmas. These went pretty well. There are, I want to say there were 2 left in the shop when I looked, and I believe I put up 16, when in reality, I think I should have 18, but I wanted to check to make sure. So there may be 2 more going in for a total of 18. And Companions Volume 2 will also have a total of 18 and 2 different charms. And even if you have bought a charm that looks like this before, this one's different because we changed bits of it. So even if you got one before, which I'm not saying what it is, but if you got one before, it's still different. I wanted to make sure of that because I had one of the one that we chose, but I wanted to make sure that things were variated. But yeah, so the Companions Volume 1 went really well. I have the bags here. I'm just waiting to pop the charms in, and I am going to head to the store to get a sweet treat like a lolly or a candy or something to put in there as well. Gypsy's got her ball today, so that's going well. Yeah, just banged her head on my desk. All right, so that is, I think, all of the administrati etc's. Let's move right into the magical elephant in the room, which is me. I'm the magical elephant. Ta-da! So excited. Yeah, Gypsy wants to bring you. Drop. I've used the lightning bolts from chart A, the letter with the bead for chart B. I actually put, and you can see them here, haha. You can kind of not, but then you can see them again when the light hits. Yeah, look at that. Silver beads in here, which I love the size of, and I think that I wrote down clearly what size. They're size 2 beads, and then I ordered size 3 beads, and that is not bigger than 2 when you're beading, apparently. So they're a little smaller than I wanted. I wanted the crest to be bigger, but what are you gonna do? Now I have a whole set of beads. I will use them anyway. But yeah, so I beaded here, and then I have the letter for chart B. I did the singing sorting hat for chart C. I didn't do chart D, which would give you more of a Tecumseh type of feel where like it's a longer, if you like that look, because a lot of people do, that is an option for you. However, what I did was I went back to a chart A, which will be added in. The music notes, these are backwards. I'm an idiot. Ignore me. These are correct. These are not correct. Pretty darn sure. If you're a music major, please stop rolling your eyes at me. I was doing it upside down and backwards. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I went back to chart A just to add a little more length before I split for the sleeves. Then I put the sleeves on hold, and I cast on my underarm stitches. Now, the underarm stitches, you have a choice of putting in another chart A or chart C or chart D, and all of those will be outlined in nice new paragraphs, which Luke and I have been working on making really pretty for you. So you could then put, sorry, boobs, you could then put your chart D or C or A, and you could add 3 more charts of A. You could add Knit Picks Palette and Merlot Heather. Thank you, Gypsy. Yeah, you could add, you know, multiple charts. So you could go as far, honestly, you could do the whole darn body with charts if that's what it takes for you to love it. Do it, whatever you need. She's a little treat fiend today. That's what it is. And then I did the swing top version. So instead of just going straight down, I did the increases that are directed in the pattern. So you don't need to worry about that. You can barely see them. This is all with the Black Lake colorway that I made up for this sweater. And again, I'd love to make it a regular for the shop. I just need to test it. I might make like a test for skeins and put them in the shop if anyone's interested. But the second, I will say, like, the yoke has been washed twice now. I blocked it once just to get everything laying flat, and then I blocked the whole thing last night, and everything is laying really beautifully. I'm just covered in dog hair constantly. And I will turn so you can see that, and you can see the little red stitch marker that is marking the center back. These are identical because I didn't do short rows. I'm not sure I'm going to add them. That's another hurdle. I'm not sure I'm there yet, but I shall talk to my tech editor and see if that's a thing that we should try to lower. So yes, that is pretty much everything I have to say about this right now. My testers are working very hard to get things done and to give me good feedback and to let me know what is going right and wrong with theirs and tiny suggestions that they might have. So I'm just really grateful. You guys have been fantastic. This will be available in, good Lord, like 11 sizes, starting with, I think I'm gonna start it with a 34 bust for women now. I know I have a 30 that I have as well. This neckline is too tight if you're going down 10 stitches, which is what it would. So we're working through all of that, very excited, and yeah, just kind of keep your eyes peeled. I put this on for the first time this morning and I'm so happy with it. I did about 12 inches from the underarm of knitting, and then I could have maybe decreased another 5 stitches. I could have, and I did a 2x2 in Real Friends Don't Lie, which is the same as the neckline. I wanted to tie it back in so that this didn't look so weird since I had switched it out from the body. And I think that that's just enough, like, difference and change where it's not really drawing away from the sweater at all. I'm now even more excited to get my red and gold version off the needle, so I will now fully put my concentration into that one, and the notes that I took on this one, how many stitches I ended up with for the body, what needle size I was using, all of that, I will apply to the second one and have a second really fun fitting sweater. I'm very excited. All right, and that will bring me into whips, of which I have a few. I actually, you know what? Total liar. So finishing off the FO parade, I thought I showed this, but one more time if I didn't, this is my Bringing Up a Son Just to Say Goodbye. I did finish off both socks, so now the pair is going into my box, and I'm very excited. But yeah, so this one was February. It's all gone now, but very excited. There will be, I think, 3 skeins going to the yarn shop in June. Next up is my, Shell Cottage, there it is, Shell Cottage colorway, which is this lovely mint with navy, lime green, and teal speckles. It's mixed with the pickle juice color from, I was gonna say Netflix, it's Knit Picks from Netflix. And this is the heels, toes, and cuffs added from. So this was a sock snake. Now the problem with this was I finished the one, yay, awesome. Then I was like, I'm gonna be really ballsy and get both done. Look at me go. So I had ripped out a little bit from the, I had ripped out a little bit from one and started knitting, and I putzed out on my ribbing this much. That's okay, yeah, try to word this. I knit an inch higher on the second one because I just kept going. Oh my god, what an idiot. And yeah, no, I ripped about, the other day it looked like I actually didn't rip it out enough either. Yeah, they are not identical. I did not do well on this one. Typically I do so good. I do so good. But I did not do well on this one. So I'm thinking the legs are okay. It's really the ribbing. I think I did. I totally wound that in and everything. Of course I did. So now I gotta decide if having a longer cuff on one of them is gonna bug me. Maybe I'll put them on and see if I notice, because like sometimes when you put them on, the ribbon gets like stretched, and they might be more similar heights. It's the heel that I haven't finished here. I have my little birthday sheep from Lindsay that I was working with. Little birthday sheep. But yeah, so this is Shell Cottage. Shell Cottage is a perfect spring, summer colorway, so this one will be coming back. I think it's out of the shop right now. I would also like to offer sweater quantities soon in the shop. Right now I've been doing very quick, like flash sale type of things, like 1, 2 in the shop. So I'm hoping to have a listing where you can order 5 skeins of Bellatrix. You can order 5 skeins, 4 skeins of sea glass, or not sea glass, I keep calling it that because that would be a perfect sea glass top. Shell Cottage, Mermish, like whatever. Hedwig would also be a really great one, just mixed with Felix Felicis, like that gold and white cream. Be so good. But yeah, so I got 3. I'm pretty sure I had this other one done, but like I got all these done. These get to go in my box of socks now. Very, very exciting. Moving right along, I had dyed up the kits, and Lindsay, Simply Serving, had said how much she really liked Martha and Amy. I was like, ooh, my broody women, the darker colors. And so I dyed up a skein of Amy Pond, which I showed off last week. And I forgot to get a picture of before I caked up. I like promptly was like, cool, I showed it off in the podcast, and then caked it up. Idiot. But yeah, so I knit 1 sock. I'm on the cuff right now. So I'm just gonna fold it so you can see it. This is the Amy Pond. Really perfect for March. If I had mixed it with an orange, it just, yeah, I feel like it would have been even more March Irish, or white. White would have gone really well for Irish too. But it looks really cool. This is how the half and half skeins knit up, if you're curious. And I've got my Don't Blink charm on there, very dark, and my TARDIS. So we went to the TARDIS and ended with the angels. I was kind of a little bit bummed no one had bought the Medusa Cascade. It was the color of the month, to remind you. It's this guy, it's this guy. They're slightly brighter. And this one, so this is Medusa Cascade, and this is the color of the month, and I'm just a little bit bummed nobody had bought it, so I was like, oh, alright. So the skein that I had caked last week, I took back from the shop, and I was like, well then, I'll knit it and see how it goes. I have to say, I just love how my labels look. Sorry, falling. But like, I'm very proud of that. Very proud of that. It's a stupid thing, but I'm very proud. So I had caked it up. You saw it last week, and so I cast it on. And I not 24 hours later, I sold the first skein. 48 hours later, sold 3 skeins. Yesterday, sold 3 skeins in one order. I can't thank you enough for your wonderful love and reception of Medusa Cascade. Very, very, very much enjoying it. Yeah, so, and then I guess if you want to see the blend of colors, kind of looks like that. I'm really liking it. And I'm using, I pulled out of hibernation a Hannah charm because I was watching all of her shows yesterday. Very excited. Her like old episodes. She's wearing a new So Faded, and she hasn't talked about it on a podcast in a while. Just saying. But yeah, so I am using a Hannah charm. It's Hannah of the Corner of Craft and Chromatic Yarns. Little TARDIS. Love it. But yeah, so I just knit up this like little bit to kind of show you. I thought maybe people would be hesitant, not knowing just looking at it, not knowing what it would do. This is what it does. But yeah, so thank you so much. I have to say, I'm like really pleased with how everything's been going down. My January, February, Marches. Oh, and I'm gonna grab it. Diamond Planet. It's also one of those just went. Thank you for your order. Very exciting. So I'm very excited to be packaging that up today. Yeah, okay, speaking of things I've been packaging up, all right, hold on. One thing at a time. In my takeout bag, Unicorns by Simply Serving. I also have a pin, Wild Hair Fiber Studio. I thought he kind of looked like a Patronus, the rabbit, like Luna. I got that in Maryland last year when I was with Tristan and Christy. Wanted to get her mom, right? And in here I have Real Friends Don't Lie, Madeline Tosh sock something, and then you can't even see it, but that is a fuzzy black mohair. That black hole right there, that's fuzzy black mohair in there. I feel like I'm making this up. I'm not, I swear. Hold on. Get some light in there. Can you see it? There it is. You can kind of see it. Fuzzy black mohair. Yeah. Last night, I cast on another, I was calling it my rose hat, but Tristan just released a pattern, the Everyday Slashy Beanie, which is super similar. It's also very similar to the Midas hat. So I'm saying this out loud so I remember. On a US 2, I cast on 100 stitches. Then I read the pattern again. It's not a US 2, it's US 1. Went down to a 1.5, kept the 100 stitches. Did my purl row. Knit 4 more rows above that. I am holding very thin, what I think is thin, sock weight yarn with the Knit Picks black mohair aloft, and it's doing exactly what I wanted it to. It's dulling down the pooling, it's dulling down the brightness. Like if you can see how bright that is and then how dark it is over here. So loving it with the mohair, I have to say, absolutely loving it. It's kind of reminding me of like rainbow fish. It's like, so Caroline of Dundernit is knitting a sweater that had Pigeon Fancier from Amy of Stranded Dye Works, and she was doing something similar, which I think it just lived in the back of my head that I liked that. Maybe not like that exact like sweater or anything, but I liked that look. So what I did was I kind of blended a very bright and a very dark. I was a little disappointed that I had gotten the color, and I liked the color, but it didn't look right in this sweater, and that was disappointing, and I had already caked it up. I didn't really want it to just live in a cake. And then I thought it would just look really nice if I dulled down the color and made it into a hat. So I am super thrilled with that. So it'll fold on the purl row. I have to get from here to here again, so I have a lot more knitting. I only have 4 rows out of probably like 30, 20 something rows. But really enjoying it. I have it on my Chiagu short twist interchangeables. I did the 1.5. I should have done that the whole way. I was working on a 2. I'm back on a 1.5 now. But yeah, so very exciting. I just want to pull these a little bit longer so I don't lose them. They probably wouldn't go anywhere with the mohair, but let's not play with it, right? So I worked on that all last night. I cast on yesterday, worked on it last night, and that's just one night from like 6 o'clock to 9:30 maybe. Ta-da! This is the newest edition, and I look over there because there's the mountain that has inspired it. I live in Maryland, and certain parts of Maryland do have highs and lows, and I won't say they're huge mountains like Tristan lives next to, with like snow-capped hills and stuff. Like, it's not like that. It's just when they're further away, they look blue. And every time we drive and when I see them, they're just beautiful. And when I wake up in the morning, I take Gypsy out right here and I can see the mountain. When I take her for a walk, we walk and I can look at the mountain, and you'll see it on my stories sometimes because they're just so pretty. I just can't help it. So on 100% merino, because I didn't want to take anything out of the shop that I had listed, and I don't have 100% merino listed in the shop. I wasn't sure if anyone would want it because it doesn't have nylon. But I was willing to take the risk. It is 400 yards in each of these skeins, so it's kind of like getting the 80-20, but the 80-20 has nylon, 20% of it. So this fade, the whole thing, is called Mountain Views. And this was the test one. This is the one that I did, and then I have since dyed 2 more, and they were both sold, so I'm very, very grateful, guys. Thank you. One I shipped yesterday, and the other one I will be shipping today, but this is like a more of a purpley version. The Mountain Views that I intended was more blue, but this was the very first version, and there's the fade, and it's been actually very popular in the shop. And I'm really excited. So I asked my husband, I was like, can I pull off this color? He's like, you can pull off most colors. I'm like, oh, thank you. He's like, really, other than like certain shades that are almost your skin tone, I'm pretty sure you can pull off all the colors. So I want to make a fade with this. I was talking about doing a So Faded, then I was thinking of boxy, faded boxy, and then I realized my favorite sweaters are kind of my own. I really like the way all my sea glasses fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the back to have less of a halter and go more straight down, but keep the front straps as is. Leave the, keep the cap sleeves, and plan to use one skein, the first skein, to knit the back panel, knit the front 2 panels, attach it in the round, start fading in the second color, detach it. That will go for the cap sleeves, and then this will have a little bit to fade the sleeve, and then we'll keep going down from there. I'm thinking these sleeves I might have to do one at a time, because doing a fade 4 balls at a time was so awkward the last time I did it. It was for my purple and then my mint fades. Oh my gosh, it was really awkward. But I'm thinking that I would really enjoy that, and I like that neckline. I've been batting around doing the Tishilp, which is by Unconstrict on Instagram, and I don't think I've bought that yet, the Tishilp, but I love that neckline as well. And I think that that would also look really cute. But I'm kind of familiar with my sea glass at this point, and my thought is that if I change the racer back a little bit, that I'll release it, I'll make a new pattern, and I'll attach Christmas and Halloween charts so you can make a pumpkin sweater. So I was thinking of basically making a pumpkin sweater with notes for fades, with notes for Christmas. Yeah. So that's a thought. If you're interested in that, go ahead and leave me a comment down below to give me some feedback. Yeah. But yes, very excited. I think I'm gonna do a sea glass fade with sleeves. That's about where I think I am. I mean, I've thought about pavement, I thought about a lot of things, but I love Hannah's So Faded. I just don't know if I want a higher neckline now that I have 3 sweaters that have high necklines. I'm not sure. I want another high neckline. But I get to cake this up now because I finished one sweater. Actually, I really should finish the other sweater and then cake this up, because if it's caked, it can get cast on. If it's not caked, I can't cast it on, right? So kind of saving myself a little bit, but it is so pretty. I am very excited about it. I'm actually getting a bit freezing because my window is open. It's like 17 degrees outside and I'm not as warm as I thought I would be. Well, my legs are cold. My body in the sweater is warm. My legs are cold. So, some things that I was asked about last week, so we're into Babble now. Some things I was asked about last week was my lipstick and my eyeliner. So there were curious minds wanting to know, and I figured I'd share it again. I recently, from my friend Trina, had found Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. The first color, this was hers. Actually, it didn't look good on her, but it looked good on me, so I got her colorway Lover, which looks like so. Yeah, this like, it's like a pinky mauve type of thing. And that is the inside color right here of my lips. And then I recently picked up Voyager number 50, which looks like this. And that I used for the outer and lining my top lip a little bit more. And whenever I want to feel like Snow White or Taylor Swift, I use Pioneer number 20, which is the brightest, most obnoxious red, I know. And it's a really, really, really great, like, red, like a pink red. Like, can you see that? I think you can. It's very red. And these stay on, like, on. I would also like to purchase Ruler. I'm pretty sure I owned it. I can't find it anywhere. I would buy it again. That's how much I like it. There was another one that I really wanted to try. I think it was called Amazonian, and it looked kind of like a tannish, but I thought it would be a good, like, nude. And then for my eyes, I got complimented on my eyeliner. Thank you. I am right now using this is a really old one. Like, you can see, like, the label is pretty much gone. I've carried this everywhere. It's New York Color. It's an NYC high definition black, and the tip looks like this, and it's actually it's a hard tip, so you can press on it and it stays there. Whereas some of the other tips, i.e. the one that I have second, is an NYX Epic Ink Liner EIL01 black. Now this is a much finer tip, and when you press on it, it gives you a nice thick black line. So I actually use both. I use this to make a guide. So I take it and I go like this from the inner corner, like here to here. I go like this with the hard one, because that makes like it's almost run out. It makes a guide for me. And then I take the one that's much more swooshy and I fill it in to make it even darker on there. And I have brown eyes. I like using reds and golds, maroon, browns. I don't do too many blacks anymore. I used to do my Hannah makeup. I used to do my makeup more like Hannah does, with the entire under eye lined. But when I got more into vintage fashion, I stopped, and I actually today have lined my under eye with white. So that my eyes look a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter, and I look a little less tired. Black eyeliner is a must-have in my personal book. I really love it, and these are really good. So they're staying on. Yep, it's still there. So I really enjoy that. But yeah, so if you're curious about any other makeup things, that is my look for today. I'm gonna just get a little bit closer so you can see. Also, see how tired I am? Yes, so much makeup. But yeah, really happy about that. Cheers. Finally, she's calmed down. She's been a terror. She's brought me 4 balls of yarn today. we didn't get to play as much fetch as I wanted to before the podcast because she kept putting it under the couch. I can't wait until under the couch is not an option. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, so just a little bit of chatter. I've been working very hard on getting this sweater done. I am extremely pleased with how it fits. I hope my testers are also, post-blocking, extremely pleased with how theirs fit, and you know, I continue to get good feedback. I wanted to mention that Luke was saying, you haven't given the dimension of the yoke depth. No, because this is a buffet style sweater, the depths are slightly different for the pattern. So this one is short and shorter than say these or these. So your depth is going to depend on the depth of the charts. So I would suggest a mix. So if you're gonna pick a really tall one for up here, maybe a shorter one, and then your longer one again. If you pick all deep ones, it's gonna get a little bit deeper, but if you're going for more of an oversized sweater, that just looks really cute. I wanted to give you as much choice as possible with this. I am now, after like putting this on and just wearing it for a whole hour, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with the fit. I got the ease just right. I wanna find, oh, I'm looking for my phone to tell you. I'm recording on it. Yeah, I did the 38-inch bust size, but I added ease. So I did the Chart C, which will make sense. I did the Chart C editions, which give you more cast-ons under the arms. So I wanted a little bit of ease, and then I immediately started knitting down the body, and I think I did to what I had last week. I had like 6 inches or something, and then I began doing the hip increases. And I wouldn't say that this is a triangle at all. You know, like where it's like very tiny and then goes straight out. I wouldn't say it looks like a triangle. It kind of looks like it goes straight down. But there are 20 some stitches added on either side, and that adds a good amount of ease if you're going for 6 stitches per inch. Then, you know, you're getting a couple inches added, and sometimes that's just enough. I am just really thrilled with it, and this is going to be a huge staple in my wardrobe, and I'm very excited. And yeah, all the good stuff, And now I mean, like, now I have more to finish. I do, but I've been trying to cast on small projects to ease my cast-onitis, i.e. like the hat. Small projects that would get done faster, and I continue to like switch between them because socks are good for traveling, hat is good for traveling. This sweater was not so good for traveling because I didn't want to get it dirty. I didn't want to ramp it around everywhere. The fade I'm very excited about, and I have to choose. I've been looking at a lot of So Fadeds, and I'm just trying to choose if that's the look I want to go for, because my first So Faded, I don't think I sized it quite the way I would have preferred to. I didn't understand that you could just simply cast on more stitches under the arm to get more, like, I didn't have to listen to her. I didn't have to cast on 4, but I did. But I could have cast on 20, like the pavement, and suddenly had all this glorious ease down the body, where I don't wear it as much because it's tighter than most of my sweaters. And I will say the Puple Up has been missing more outside time, and I can't wait for a yard. I cannot wait for a yard. So excited. So I have tons of editing to do, like an absolute boatload of editing. So I am going to cut it off there, and I want to thank all of you for stopping in and sticking with me this episode. I think I was definitely more off than normal, but yeah, so thank you so much, and reminding you to take it one cup at a time, no matter how large that cup may be. And I will see you next week.